Good morning. Welcome to TMI Socials, and we do sincerely apologize for the mix-up happening that did happen. It was due to some technical glitches, but thank you so much for staying with us this morning. My name is Anuoluwapo Stevens, your social media guide, here to take you on a beautiful journey on the social media streets. Now let's move over to the latest, and it has always been there from the weekend up until this morning. As you are aware that there are indications that the organized labor may end its strike over the new minimum wage, as it's reached an agreement with the federal government last night. Now, after a 6-hour meeting in Abuja, the federal government expressed the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to raising the 60,000 naira offered as the minimum wage. The meeting, held in the office of the Secretary to the States of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on Monday evening, aimed to resolve the impasse and bring an end to the industrial action, across the various sectors in the country. Let's move over to Abuja, where it all happened yesterday.
That's Comrade Joe Ajero there again, president of the NLC, with a bit of a smile on his face. We expect that this agreement should, of course, reflect all of the issues.
Now let's see how you've been reacting to this story on socials. Okay, so this one says, Labour agreed to meet today. Yes, they will be meeting today to consider the president's commitment that minimum wage will be above 60K. That's fine. Anyone can meet to discuss anything. What figure did the president propose? If they call off the strike just for a committee to meet daily, they are unserious. Another reaction on this. This guy says, please don't tell me that the agreement is below 100K, because that would be a waste of strike. If you know, you know. Another thought still in the story. Tammy Corner says, can they at least bring the rights now? My goosey will soon spoil. CC ending strength into Nigerians. And then finally, let's see the final clip on this one, the final photo on this one. I remember NLC posting as early this morning saying, until we hear from our organs at our meeting scheduled for today, we are still on strike. So the strike is still on, just in case you're a bit confused as regards the agreement and, of course, the strike. So anyway, moving over to another one. I saw a trending video about a particular market woman who was shouting at the top of her voice and saying that the suffering in the country is too much, and the way the market women will, come out and protest if the government doesn't do anything about it. See it for yourself.
It's too much. This suffering is too much for this country. Please, if government work, if they cannot protest, we go protest. Too much suffering is too much for this country. But before you eat, you go suffer. The suffering is too much. Please, madam, find solution for this things. It's too much. Gary, 2,000 naira. Since when my father bought me, I did not buy 1,000 naira pence of Gary. They're selling it 2,000 naira now. It's too much. The savannah is too much. Even say the rice, the Rika one rice up to 1,200 naira. For what reason? It's too much, to buy meat. Even the Pama said, rice up. Two fish for Chicago, 1,200.
Okay, so it's funny, but it really is not funny. I think that's an old video, because currently the basket of Gary, or a bucket of Gary, it's way above 2K. But let's see how you reacted to this story as it came online again. Now, Ben Kinsley says Gary is 4K now, not 2K. Nobody in this country sells Gary for 2K per paint bucket. Another thought on this one. Faye says people never really understand how much the average Nigerian is suffering and hungry. Go to the hood and see how a family will be begging for the least and basic. Really sad and pathetic. Another thought on this one still. Let's see what we have. This guy says, after everything, there's still no change. After everything, they still go change national anthem. And finally on the story, okay, so I think that's all we have on the story, but I really love us to take Pastor Adeboye, as he did respond to what the woman said. He said, and I quote, that if things are hard for you, call on God. And of course, netizens dragged the whole out of him on socials. Well, let's move over to your thoughts on this particular story. Let's see how you read.
Years ago,
This man!
I was invited.
Okay, so Rhoda says, even Jesus got angry at some point and chased out the gamblers and traders who were doing business inside the synagogue. It is not everything you tell people to pray about, sir. That's the response there. And another thought, still on this one, this guy says, Pastor Adeboye's advice to call on God during tough time is comforting. When we're struggling, turning to Jehovah El Shaddai, the God who is more than enough, can give us the strength and support we need while labor unions fight for a fair minimum wage. We should remember that God's help can bring comfort and solutions when other ways are blocked. Trusting in God's provision can help us get through hard times with hope and faith. Whew, that's a lot there. But now let's let's see a video that also did trended as regards Pastor Adeboye, an old video though, but it's resurfaced online again. Take a look.
Years ago,
This man!
I was invited to Colorado in America in January. I don't like cold weather at all. So I said to my father, I'm going to Colorado. While I am there, suspend winter. Throughout the days I was there,
All right, so finally, my final story for you for today. Ajuri Ngalale was also trending yesterday as the presidency says Nigeria's economy reality is at odds with Labour's new minimum wage demand. Now, in a chart on a national television on Sunday, he said, and I quote, economic reality doesn't support the minimum wage demand. He really emphasized, as regards Labour brouhaha. But let's see how you dragged him on socials. So Daniel, I remember Daniel saying NLC unrealistic demands aside, it is pathetic, says that the economic reality doesn't support any minimum wage demand. And, when we get, okay, anyway, and then he went on and on with that. So that's how we get to call it a wrap this morning on TMI Socials. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully we get to do this again tomorrow. My name is Anu Luwapor Stevens, and remember to stay happy and be the best that you can be.